days of the Illuminati. And so I'm glad you're here. Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million? David didn't trust Oprah Winfrey. And he was glad that the show was over with. And David told me that when he left Oprah Winfrey, he had to keep looking over his shoulder because he didn't trust Oprah. And well, nobody any of us, we know that Oprah is one of the queen bees, dark bees of the Illuminati. And so, I wouldn't trust her. And so, but David felt that it was over. Okay, now, David went home. And things began to happen to David. Leading up to the course of time for him to go back into the executive office. Well, I should say, but that's right. Things again, because now I'm not going to pinpoint the exact time and the exact date, but David was receiving threatening letters. He received a package in the mail. It was Bill Cosby. It was who was another? It was Bill Cosby. It was even Al. That's why I don't like Al Sharpton today. It was Bill Cosby, Al Sharpton. It was Whoopi Goldberg, and it was a few others that was into putting the pressure on David to stop this thing with the black race. Now that was before, and it was even afterwards. But they were putting the pressure on him, and so eventually down the line, David was doing his comedy in the local comedy clubs, but then he got a phone call again, and he said, he called me and told me, he said, "Cuz, now what he said to his brother, I don't know. But I do know, because David wouldn't, like when David talked to his brother, he wouldn't tell his brother a conversation that him and I had. And because David's brother and him, they were family, but they wasn't like David and I were. And David would, when he called and talked to me, he wouldn't tell me things that he told his brother. And when David called me again, he said, "Cuz, they called me again." I said, "Who called you again?" He said, "The executives." And he said, they want to talk to me one more time. And they're thinking about the possibility of me doing the Chappelle show and doing it the way that I want to do it. I want to be, he said, because the only reason why I told them when I talked to them the last time that the only way I would do the Chappelle show again would be if I did it my way. And it would be set up on my terms. And so I received a phone call and they want to talk to me about it. Well, my antennas went up. I said, "David, you be careful now," because they could be saying that. He said, "No, I really think they're serious this time, cuz." He said, "Because I made it definite with them. That the only way that he said, I told it on Oprah Winfrey show too, that the only way that I would do the Chappelle show again, it would have to be on my terms, my way, and that and the money that I make, even if it wasn't $50 million, it would have to go to the people, and but it had to be on my terms." So I said, "Okay, David." I said, "Well, do you trust him?" David said, David said, "Well, I think I can trust him this time." So I said, "Well, David, whatever the situation is, please give me a call." He said, "That's right, cuz." And so David left. We hung up. I should say we hung up. I have not heard from David, not even today. I have not heard from David. Now, what I think is this, that Neil Brennan is a question mark, 100%. A question mark. I believe that David went there and they discussed once again about the $50 million. And I believe Neil Brennan was somewhere in that office. I believe he was somewhere in that office. And then they told, I'm believing that they told David that they wanted him to see something. Just like they did Bernie Mac. Oh, yes, indeed. They took Bernie, let me stop on David for a few minutes. But they showed Bernie Mac the cloning lab. And they showed Bernie Mac the the cloning lab, and he went down and he saw how people were being cloned. And when Bernie Mac came back and told uh, Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley and a few others, and that he saw the cloning lab, and that something had to be done to stop that foolishness of what they were doing. Well, Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley went back and told top brass of the Illuminati, the Dog Circle, Dog Circle, and what they did, they killed it. Okay, so now let's go back to David Chappelle. I'm truly believing that they told David they had something they wanted him to see, and they took David to the underground cloning lab. And when they took David down there, and I think that I'm believing that before they took David down there, they promised David that they would go along with David's deal, to get him to sign the contract. And I'm believing that David, thinking that he would get back on the Chappelle show, working with Comedy Central, that everything was going to be all right. And I'm believing that David signed that contract thinking that. And when he signed that contract, they wanted David to go and look at something else. It could have been maybe telling him that maybe it was a new studio or something of some kind or what have you. But they got David after signing the contract, you can say in pledge, and David thinking that he's just signing the contract because things were going to work his way. And then once he signed the contract, they took him someplace else, and the place that they took him to was to the underground lab. And when they got him down there, they cloned David. And when they clone a person, and I want you to do your research, it's not like cloning is not like when a one is pregnant and they either inject her or for her to have a clone or the baby girl, however that goes. It's not like that. Cloning today only takes a couple, maybe to several hours to be cloned. Well, this is what I strongly believe they did today. They took him to this underground lab. And what they did is just smiling in his face and just going along with David. So that David would not yield up or fight or this sort of thing. And they cloned him. And once they cloned David Chappelle, then they killed David Chappelle. Okay, and once they killed David Chappelle, that was it. Now they could do anything. It only takes a few hours to do this. And once they did this, then they had full control of this new Dave Chappelle.
We've been 1938. They've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend that always does treat the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out, because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that you disappear. So I don't go into too many more details. But there is information that's available. If you guys can rent a video of the boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah, from method.
I mean, making people meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just going to act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep too. But again, a food source, that's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used the pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows.
It's just a straightforward procedure. This is not something real complicated. They've been cloning all kinds of mammals. Don't you think that they have the ability to clone people? Technically, to clone a person is no more complicated than it is to clone a cow or a pig. There's a few little differences in the steps, the procedures, but as far as complications, it's just as easy. And I'm going to suggest to you that the Illuminati not only have the motive to clone, but they have the means. They have the motive to clone the means that they're doing it.
Since then, human cell cloning has helped the study of diseases like Parkinson's, but cloning humans would simply be unfair.
Clone of a major baseball player. You'd expect that child to be a baseball player. He might not want it. He might want to play soccer.
You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
What?
Clones?
What?
Copies? What are you talking
Why?
about? Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part. They take it from you.
But why celebrities? There are many reasons why an entertainer might be a top choice to be cloned. Entertainers are themselves valuable commodities, earning mega millions for their record companies and studios. However, if they decide they want to quit, or something tragic happens to one of them, studios stand to lose considerable investment. Replacement clones are easier to control and manipulate, attracting less attention than an outright assassination, and allowing the owners to regain control and continue earning money. The Illuminati are said to have cloned many celebrities.
You ever met a clone?
This is
Have I met a clone? Yeah, I think I met some clones before.
See?
Really?
So there's clones amongst us.
The rapper Gucci Mane was sent to prison for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. But it was his return less than 3 years later that sparked controversy among fans. Not only had the rapper lost a considerable amount of weight, but his speech and mannerisms seemed to have changed as well.
He told me, yeah, we gotta get you in. You gangster. Keep this girl. Got the nigga Blue said, man. That's why I fought him to the day. Yeah, I just had to sit down about you. Yeah, we gonna let you in. Yeah, be robbed too much. But we fought with you.
What do you want for lunch for today?
Just fruit, veggies, and water.
That's it?
Very light. I wanted to go light but excessive.
Oh.
Clean but opulent.
Some even speculate that people from the past are being cloned and brought to life again as leading actors or musicians. Such theories point to the uncanny resemblance some stars show to figures from the past. Talent can be hard to come by. Imagine a world where legendary musicians or artists could be brought back to life. What would a modern-day Mozart create? Obsessed collectors will pay ungodly amounts for memorabilia owned by their favorite stars. But the ultra-wealthy could have the real thing brought back to life for their amusement. The elite have fiendish desires. If, for instance, one fantasized about a particular starlet, they could have a clone of them made as a sex slave. Politicians could be using clones as doubles for speaking events, etc. Having body doubles and lookalikes has long been common for world leaders. Also, if a genuine candidate was elected president and didn't acquiesce to the shadow government's control, he or she could be replaced with a clone under MK Ultra mind control.
He became president. I didn't go, and I'm still vice president. And in addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are
several celebrities have tweeted about human cloning or cloning centers. Others seem to be giving cryptic references in songs or music videos.